folks, and welcome to another edition of BC Renovation Magazine. So this is video number 4 in this little mini series that I'm doing on refinishing the interior walls and ceilings in mobile homes. And if you haven't seen the first videos, we've got one where I show you the materials and tools that we're using to do this job. And I also have one that shows you the first step that we do in this process, which is the taping, embedding the tape on the joints. There's a lot of people run into troubles when they do this on their own. It is kind of a thing where, it's a little bit of a knack to it. And, you kind of either have the knack or you don't, but it's not, just because you don't have the knack doesn't mean you can't do it. Where a lot of people get into trouble is they try and do everything at once. So they try to go from nothing to, basically have a finished job in one application, one go at it. It doesn't work that way. There's basically 3 steps to this. The first one is taping. The second one is filling, and there's 2 filling coats. Also, part of the taping is putting on your corner bead and trims, and that's what we're going to show you today, how to put those corner beads on and install the trims. So something I want to put out there right now is that when you do put these kind of videos up on YouTube, there's always these people, I call them internet cowboys, that have a better idea. They tell you stuff, you're doing things wrong, they don't agree, and that's okay. If you have a different way of doing things than what I'm showing you, and you don't agree with what I'm showing and saying here, that's fine. Do things the way you want to do them. But don't come to my channel expecting that you're going to discredit what I'm saying here. I'm a professional. I've been doing this for a long time, and I know what I'm doing, okay? And if you have a better way or want to tell people your way, go start your own channel and go for it. That's what I did. And if you don't want to listen to what I'm saying, then I don't know why you're here. It's unbelievable, especially when you get into mobile homes, the comments that people have and the ideas that people have about mobile homes, how they think that there's some kind of trash housing and they're not worth putting money in. I mean, you wouldn't believe the comments that I get. Most of those comments don't even get any exposure at all. YouTube has so many filters that they just don't even get posted. They get sent to a bin where we can look at them, and we just basically 99% of those comments get deleted. You don't even see them. But the interesting thing about it is it all helps the channel. I mean, if you want to dislike the videos, if you want to comment every click you make, whether it's a dislike, whether it's a like, whether it's a comment, whether it's a view, even if it's a view for 10 seconds, it shows up and it helps the channel. So keep at it, keep at it. So, that being said, we're gonna carry on with what we're doing here, and whether some people like it or not, whether some people agree with it or not. And if your goal is to come to this channel and discredit, you're not going to get any airtime here. You're kind of wasting your time, and you're actually helping the channel. So that's the way it is. All right, so that being said, we're going to turn the camera around, and I'm going to show you how to put on some corner beads. Okay, so we've got some mud mixed up here, and again, we're just working out of this this little mud pan here, and we've got the mud all ready to go here. You can kind of see the consistency of it. I'm going to show you here. I've got the corner bead. I'm going to put the camera on my head like I did in the other video there. I think that's a good way to show it to you, the POV kind of thing. But I'm just going to give you a little walkthrough here. The taping is all done in here now. We're at that stage, and so now I'm just going to put these corner beads on, and then we're ready to start filling, and we're getting close to finishing with the taping part of it. So you can kind of see here, how this is coming together. Here's a patch. This is what it looks like after it's dried out. Okay, and you can kind of see, like, it's kind of rough. It's not smooth. A lot of people, again, where they run into trouble with this is they start to try and make it all smooth and perfect in one shot. It doesn't work that way. Okay, so we've been through the whole home. All right, I have started with some corner beads, and you can see here where I've got this corner bead applied. Okay, I've got them all installed except for one. I'm going to show you how it's done. But I'm past that point now of kind of doing the corner beads of taping. I'm ready to start filling here. Now here you can see this is a trim, and this is, you can see how this is finished, that raw edge on the drywall. I've done the same thing here. Okay, now you can see, this is kind of bumpy and stuff. It doesn't matter. This is just the first coat. You're going to see how we're going to deal with all this. Okay, if you remember all those patches that were here, you can just see now how this is all kind of starting to blend together. All right, this is the master bedroom. Okay, here's the bathroom. All right, you can see that bulkhead there. I've got it all corner beaded out. Okay, this is the shower, and so, remember I was telling you how we're going to deal with, I was going to show you how we're going to deal with the raw edges on the tile backer. And so, here we had a raw edge, and so you can just see what we've done here is we've put some corner bead on here. Okay, and what's going to happen now is I'm going to fill this, and so it's going to start to get filled out, and then eventually what's going to happen here is this is going to get painted over on onto the tile backer, and then we're going to be putting a piece of Schluter, which is a metal trim, and then the tile's going to come on it here. All right, same thing over here. Now I'm going to show you how I'm going to apply this trim. So this is that L-shaped trim that I showed you kind of in that first video about tools and materials. And here again, you can see the raw edge. Okay, I'm going to show you how we're going to put this on here, and we're going to have a finished edge, which we are going to then fill back and paint back. And then when we do the tile, the Schluter is going to go on there, and the tile's going to come up, and we're going to have a finished edge. All right. Another thing I want to show you is how I do my bifold closet doors. Okay, so lots of times when you look at bifold closet doors, you look at the at the side of the door, and you see these big cracks, these openings in between. It doesn't look great, and it lets dust and stuff in there, and I don't like it. It's not a finished look. So what I do is I drywall the inside of the opening, the door opening, the bifold door opening. Okay, and then I put corner bead on the back of it like this, and this is going to finish it on the inside. Again, this still has to be filled out here. This is just the first coat. We got 2 more to go. All right, so this is finished on the back. And then what I do to finish this on the front, okay, is I put on something called a half jam. So the half jam is going to sit halfway on here, basically, and then we put a casing on it that matches the doors and windows. Okay, what that half jam does, because it sticks out about 3/4 of an inch, the bifold door will then go behind the half jam. It gives you a nice finished look. It gets rid of that crack. It also hides the track that the bifold door slides in. Okay, which is going to be installed up on top there. So, that's getting ahead of myself a little bit, but again, you're always looking ahead when you're doing these jobs. And, to get to that point where we do half jams and, that finishing trim, that finishing millwork, we have to prepare for that at this stage, where we're installing this corner bead and, doing like this. All right, so let's head back up there to the front. And so yeah, you can see how this panel is coming together, and if you can imagine a door on here now, it's going to look quite a bit nicer than what it did before. All right, so I'm going to turn the camera off here and get the camera on my head, and then I'm going to show you, how I'm going to do this corner bead. All right. So here we go. We're going to put the corner bead on this corner here. I already have the corner bead on this one. I did this one yesterday, and so you can kind of see how it's there. But basically, This is pretty easy to do. There is a little trick that you have to do. If you don't do this, it's, again, none of this stuff is hard, folks. It's just kind of paying attention to what you're doing, and you know, just doing things kind of in a, well, you know, in a sequence, or you know, just whatever. It's just not that hard, really. You know, people would like to make you think that this is hard, but it's not. It's not hard. Okay, this is just spreading mud on a wall, and you know, it's not rocket science. All right, so you can see we've got this drywall edge there. Okay, and we've got drywall here on the end of the wall, and you can see how I'm just, you know, putting a nice layer of mud on this. Okay, just like putting icing on a cake. Basically, that's what it's like. All right, I've got a nice layer of mud there. Okay, I had one guy in one of the videos say, "Oh, paper tape is gonna crack too." Yeah, paper tape was gonna crack. You know, I was talking about the fiberglass tape cracking, and yeah, paper tape will crack. I've seen paper tape crack. Paper tape will crack if you don't get enough mud underneath, and usually that's where it's gonna crack. It's gonna crack from a professional who's using a bazooka machine and is not paying attention to his mud, and he runs low on mud in the machine, and then you don't get enough mud underneath the tape. The mud is the glue, okay? The mud is what glues the tape to the wall, all right? You don't get enough mud underneath there, it's gonna let go because you don't have no glue underneath there. Basically, it's what it amounts to. So yeah, you know, you do shoddy workmanship, it doesn't matter. It's gonna fail, all right? So the key to this, and you know, the same with the tape, is to get the mud, a good layer of mud underneath, you know, so that you've got something there that's gonna help you stick, all right? You also kind of wanna fill, you know, that edge, so you've got good solid material, you know, underneath the edge. When that dries, it's gonna give you a nice hard back to your corner bead. And no, I don't ice cakes in my spare time. Okay, nothing fancy about that. Nothing hard. It's just smearing some stuff on there. Okay. So now, if you look at our corner bead, you can see on the corner bead, and I don't know if this is going to show up, but you can kind of see how, you know, it cuts back there from the corner, all right? So it comes out flat and then it actually kicks out, and it does that on both sides. What the idea of that is that gives you a place for your trowel to ride, and so that it gives you, so you can fill, right? So it gives you a space to put mud in to fill when we do that fill. Okay, I'm going to show you that. Now what's important about this, okay, so now all you do is you just cut it to length, and I just, you know, cut it a little bit short, you know, again, 1/2 inch off the floor. You're going to have baseboards and stuff. I set it on the corner now. You see how I've pressed it into the mud, and I'm pressing it up into the ceiling, right? Now, what you want to be careful about with this is that you don't want to get this on, you know, like crooked, okay? So if I was to do it like this, you can see now how this is sticking out way past the wall here, and it's not here, all right? It's kind of flat here, and it's like really dished in here. So what I want to do is I want to make sure, you know, that this is kind of centered over the corner, all right? So that I got a bit of a dip there and a bit of a dip there, all right? Then when I fill here and fill here, I've got a place for that mud to go, all right? So I just, you know, sort of just kind of, it's just kind of by feel and by eyeball, and get it on there on that corner, and then I just start pressing, and I press up, pushing up, okay? And what I'm doing is I'm pressing it into that mud, okay? And I come down to the bottom here, all right? And I press it into there, okay? And I just start, you know, working it with my fingers. I'm smooshing that mud out. Okay, you can see how I'm starting to get the squeeze there. Okay? And what I'm doing is just pushing that into that mud. All right, and I go all the way up to the top. Just like that. So if that thing is centered on that corner properly, again, I'm going to have, from this corner, I'm going to have a bit of a dip there and a bit of a dip here. And I'm going to show you how, when I put a little fill in here, how that's going to fill. All right, so you get to that point. Okay, you know, we've got our mud tray here. Showed you that before. All right, then you just take your trowel and you just press, okay? And what we're doing is we're taking that excess mud out from underneath there, all right? And we're just smoothing this down, okay? You don't need to press really hard, just, you know, firmly, okay? Same thing up at the top here, just firmly, and you see how I'm following? All right, I'm not over on the edge, I'm over in here. Okay, you don't want to be over here, you want to be in here. All right, you get that firmly embedded into that mud like that, and that is not gonna come off of there. Like if you tried to get that off of there, you literally have to tear it apart. It's not gonna pop off. It's another reason, well, not maybe another reason, don't think I've said any reasons yet, but a reason that I like to use the paper tape is because it glues on the paper corners. If you use the nail-on corners, then you're counting on nails to hold it, and the nails can pop. Nails can pop, and you can get a crack that way. The tape-on corners, if you do like this, you're not going to get any cracks. All right, so once we get it to that point, what we're going to do then is we're going to fill this. Okay, now I'm going to change to my wider trowel here. Here it is here. Because you want to have a trowel that's going to bridge from here to here. So what we have here now is, because that little kick out on the corner bead, we've got a little high edge here and a high edge here. All right, so now what we do is we come up here, okay, and we're going to put some mud in here. Okay, so now you can see how we're filling this in between the high spots, all right? So you can see how the mud is coming in there, all right? Okay, again, this is just the first coat. It doesn't have to be smooth. I'm not the world's greatest taper. I put enough on. I put lots on. I don't worry about it being really pretty. You know, I do this. It's gonna, like I say, it's gonna take 3 coats, because what happens here is this mud will shrink as it dries, and as it shrinks, you're gonna get a divot. So the only way you can fix the divot is to you know, put another coat of mud on. Okay, and I hope you can see that. It's hard to tell where my camera is pointed here, but you can just see how this just fills. All right. Now you can see right here, okay, this is gonna work, but you can just see right here, you can just see the paper tape there. So here, I haven't quite got my corner bead centered. I'm a little too far that way. If I was any further that way, what would happen is this would be sticking out, and then I would have a problem, and then I'd have to fix that. But this is gonna be all right. All right, so you can see it's not perfectly smooth. It doesn't matter, because we still got 2 coats to go here yet. All right, we're gonna, well, I've already done this side. That's the one I've already done, okay. So then I come over here, see, and I just, in here like so, and I start to pull out. Okay, but don't worry about this over here. The way you can clean up stuff like that is that when you put your trowel on the wall, if you, I'm gonna exaggerate this, but if you kind of hold your trowel like this and press more on that left edge, it lifts the trowel off of the place you don't want to mess up, and it will clean the thing that you want there. So just like that. You know, and then you just take your trowel, just clean these up. If there's little bumps and stuff, don't worry about it, just leave them alone. When we do the next coat, which is the first fill coat, you know, I'm going to show you how we're going to deal with that. But basically, what it's going to be is we're just going to take the trowel and just kind of knock it off there before we put that next coat on. Just knock off any of those little bumps. Okay, when you get down to the bottom like this, around the bottom of the walls, you want to make it clean, which is like you don't want to have a lot of stuff built up down there. You know, again, I'm not bashing professionals. I'm a professional, but you know, there's professionals that, you know, think that, you know, they're the only one that can do things. You know, and the fact of the matter is, you know, a lot of them mess up stuff too. And you know, with these corners, especially the inside corners, I've seen where they're too lazy to, you know, they use those machines and they're too lazy to bend down there and clean up. And then, you know, down the road you come down with your finishing carpenter, your finishing you do yourself, and you try to put baseboards on and you got all this mud piled up in the corners, and you know, then you have to start dealing with it, you know, get rid of that mud. All right, so that's basically how you do a corner beat. All right, so now I'm going to take you to the back and I'm going to show you how we do that piece of trim there on the edge, because it's quite often that you'll run into that situation where you want to do some trim. Okay, let me get my ladder set up here. I'm a little bit short on one end. Okay, so the way this works, okay, we've got this edge here. Okay, so what you want to do with this is you want to just get a little bit of mud, you know, on that raw edge there. What that's going to do is it's going to help glue the edge of that molding, you know, to that drywall, and it's going to make it nice and solid so that it doesn't, you know, doesn't move. So it's you know, not wiggly. Okay, and you know, again, this is just like the other corner that we did. You know, you want to get a nice layer of mud on here. I usually use that other trowel. I should have switched back to my smaller trowel. This one is a bit heavy, a bit wide, a little unwieldy here. That's okay. We'll get her done. Okay, so there you can see I've got the mud on. All right, now again, you know, I'll show you the back side of this. You know, it's got this little metal L in it. All right, you just take this, lay it on the corner, push it up. You want to have it fitting nice and tight up against the ceiling. You don't want to have a gap at the top. It's okay if you have a gap at the bottom. Your baseboard's going to do it. But you push into the corner like this to get it all to set. Right? You can see how the mud is squishing out, the excess mud. Whoops. Sorry about that. I hit you on the wall. Okay, you can see how that mud has been squishing out of there. Okay, so just you want to push into the corner like this. And you know, that edge, when we put that tile backer on, we were careful to get that edge plumb. And so now we can just follow it. Okay, so again, we just go in there. Now we start to do our little cleanup. Okay, now we're going to come down here like this. All right, so you can see how that looks. Oops, that board is kind of in my way there. That board is just there to protect the edge of the shower until we get the shower door on. Okay, so now just again to kind of review, you want to have the tape, same as the, you know, this tape here, you want to have this tape, you know, against the wall, nice and smushy. You don't want to have bumps in it, like, you know, if you don't wipe it enough, when you're putting it on, you're going to get those bumps underneath. You want to have it, it's got to be making good contact. Okay, again, I talked to you about that square-edged trowel. Okay, you can see how that square-edged trowel just goes in there and cleans that out. Okay, so now, again, on this trim has a raised edge on it. You're going to see now how that. So now I'm going, like when I do that, when I take that first one, when I take the mud out, I'm over here. Now I'm riding up on here. You see how the trowel rides up on this edge, and that creates, you know, that's how we fill it, right? So you can, I think you get how that works. All right, so again, you know, you're not gonna get this all in one coat. You don't wanna, you know, sit here and mess around with it. You just wanna get it on, all right? Get it on and get it as smooth as you can. But, you know, don't worry about it if it's not perfect. That's what we make, that's what we have sandpaper for, okay? So now there's going to be very little of this edge showing once we get the tile on. But of course, tiling is going to be another video. All right, so that's it, folks. I went on a kind of a little bit of a rant there at the start. You know, there's always these guys, like I said, I call them cowboys, you know. It doesn't matter if you do plumbing, if you do electrical, you do framing, or whatever. You know, there's always some guy that has another way of doing it. And, you know, the interesting thing about that is I don't even know if some of those guys are actually doing it. You know, I'm out here doing it, okay, and it works. This is how I do it. If you want to do it this way, you know, I'm glad that I'm showing you something. If you have a better way, do it your way. It doesn't matter to me. All right, folks, next video, I'm going to show you how we're going to start filling this. And you're going to see the tape disappear. And we're going to start, you know, feathering this out with the mix and with the mud compound. And you're going to see how this is all going to start to really come together. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll catch you on the next one.